Good morning, students. So in our previous lecture, we have completed exercise 3B, as well as we have learned two methods in order to find the squares of any two-digit number. Here, we will do the same thing. That means we will continue it from our previous class and solve exercise 3C. So without much delaying, let us start today's class. I hope you can see that, students. So let us start today's class. We are doing exercise 3C. So those methods we have already discussed in our previous class, the column method as well as the diagonal method. Here in our first question, we will solve by column method. So using column method. So let us do question number 3 then. We have here 52 whole square. So column, as we know, as you know, we'll make a table like this. And we'll make 3 separate columns. Here is square, here 2AB, and here B square. A we take 5, B we take 2. So find A square, so 25. 2AB, so 5 to the 10, 10 to the 20, and here B square is 4. So first digit we will write here. So 52 whole square. First digit we will write here. Here also unit digit we will write. This 10th digit we will carry it here and add. Okay. So this is the square. Very easy. Let us continue. Let us do question number 4. 96 is there. 96 whole square is there. So again, the students. So A we take 9, B we take 6. So find A square. So 81 to AB. There. And finally B square. So unit digit we will write here. So 96 whole square. Unit digit we will write is 3. We will carry it here. Again, unit digit we are writing, and the rest of the digits we are carrying here and adding. Okay. just check. Okay, so therefore this is the answer. Let us move on and let us do by diagonal method. Let us do question number 5 by diagonal method. This we are solving by diagonal method. What is our question? 67. So in diagonal method, we first make a square right box. We will write the number 67. Here also we write 6, 7. Then we divide the box into 4 equal parts. Then we multiply. 6 is 36. So 3, 6. 6, 7 are 42. So 4, 2. 7, 6 are 42. So 4, 2. And 7, 7 are 49. So 4, 9. Then we divide each box diagonally. And then we add corner wise. Okay. For your understanding, so that you can understand properly as using different colors. So here we have 9, add them. 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8. Add them. 4 plus 6, 10, 10 plus 4, 14. And here we have 3. So again 67 whole square. So unit digit we will write. And the rest of the digits we will carry. So 1, we are carrying it here. It becomes 4. Okay. So this is our answer. 4, 4, 8, 9. Yes, students. So that's how we solve by diagonal method. Let us do a 3-digit number. This will be a little different. Okay. So let us do a 3-digit number. Let us do question number 8. 256. So again, same thing. Here the box make a little bit bigger. Okay. So here also 2, 5, 6. There also 2, 5, 6. So here we'll divide the box into 3 equal parts. Okay. Now we multiply each of them. 2 to the 4. So write 0, 4. 2 5s are 10. 2 6 are 12. 5 2s are 10. 5 5s are 25. 5 6 are 30. Okay, multiplying 5 6 are so 30. And 6 2s are 12. 6 5s are 30. And 6 6 are 36. Again, same thing. Divide each box diagonally. Okay. Let's see the different color. Now we add as far as this. Okay. So we add. There becomes 6. There becomes 3. Now add them 3 2, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 2, 15. Right? Here 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 1, 4. There 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 1, 6. And nothing is there, so 0. Very easy, therefore. What do you have here? 256 whole square. So unit digit we will take and the second place after the unit digits, we will carry it forward to the next number. We have 6, they have 3, they are 5. We are carrying 1 to the next number, so it becomes 5. And then we have 6, 6, 5, 5, 3, 6. Okay, students. So that's our answer. So that is how we solve using diagonal method. Is the whole sum. Okay, students. Now we are going to learn the square root of any number. First, we will learn by factorization method, and then we will learn by division method. So first method will be factorization method. Factorization I've already shown. So without much delaying, then let us start exercise 3B. Okay. Fine. So let us start by directly the sums, exercise sum. Let us do question number 1. Read the question. Question says, find the square root of each of the following numbers by using method of time factorization. So very easy. Question number is 225. So we have to find the square root. Square root means a number is a perfect square or not. Okay. And if it is a perfect square, then the number to which is the perfect square is the answer. So for example, take this 225 only. So if I factorize 225, so this will be right. So 225 can be written as 5 square into 3 square. So together they can be written as 15 whole square. Which formula? We've already discussed that a to the power m into b to the power m is equals to ab whole to the power m. If two numbers are having the same power, the numbers will multiply. The power will be there in the common power. Okay. So this is 15 square. Therefore, 225 is a perfect square. And 15 square is perfect. And 225 written to 225 is equals to like 15 square. You remember, if under root square comes, then single digit will come out. That means under root 15 square is coming. So 15 will come out. So answer will be 15. Okay. So that's how we solve. Okay. Similarly, let us do question number 3. 729. So again, factorize 729. Clear? So remember, in square root, we write in terms of squares. So for these 2, 3, we can write 3 square. For these 2, 3, we can write 3 square. And for these 2, 3, we can write 3 square. So together we can write as 3 into 3 into 3 whole square. What formula? I've already discussed. The 3 has different, say 3 square, 3 square, 3 square. So 3 into 3 into 3, and power will become. This is a 9, 9 3 is a 27. So this is 27 square. So therefore, square root 729. What can we write? Under root 27 square, because 729 is equals to 27 square. So since 27 is coming under root, so 27 will come. Okay. Let us do the next one. Let us do question number 6. What do you have here? 4096. Again, factorize. Is very easy. Okay, the same way we are going to solve. We're going to factorize. It's going and going and going. Right. Okay. Yes. So as you can see, so 2 square, 2 square, 2 square, again 2 square, and 2 square, and all this 2 square. So to the right, 2 square for this, 2 square for the top. So this jam in here for 2 square again, for here again, for here again, for here again. So we can write it as how many tools? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 square, right? So multiply then. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, 16 to the 32, 30, so 64. So therefore, root under 4096 is equals to root under 64 whole square. So that is 64. This is the answer. Okay, students. Same way, very easy. So let us do the next one. Let us do question number 11. So what do we have here? 15876. 15876. Let us do. Okay. Excuse me. Therefore, 15876. What can you write? 2 square, 2 square into 3 square. And for these two sevens, 7 square. So together we can write 2 into 3 into 3 into 7 whole square. So 2 3 is 6, 6 is 18 into 7 whole square. Remember, point when we give above, it means multiply. Okay. Here, therefore, root under 15876. You can write root under 126 whole square is equals to 126. This is the answer. Okay, students. So now this is the total sum. Let us do the word problems then. Let's do question number 13. Question number 13 says, find the smallest number by which 252 must be multiplied to get it a perfect square. So first step will be to factorize 252. So what we have here then? 252 is equals to 2 square into 3 square into 7. Now read the question carefully. The question says, find the smallest number by which 252 must be multiplied. Right? What number we should multiply with 252 to get a perfect square? Now, as you can see, this 7 does not have any perfect square. So if I multiply it by 7, so it becomes perfect square. So in terms, so it becomes 252 into 7, and the whole number comes out, becomes a perfect square. So what will you write? Find the smallest number by which, therefore, required smallest number is equals to 7. Further, also find the square root of the perfect square so obtained. Therefore, new number. So we are multiplying it by 7. Therefore, the new number will be what? 2 square into 3 square into 7 already there. So we are multiplying it by 7. So it becomes what? 2 square into 3 square into 7 square. That means 2 into 3 into 7 whole square. That means 42 whole square. Right? So what it says, also find the square root of the perfect square so obtained. Therefore, required square root of the perfect square so obtained will be what? This 42. Okay, understood? Let us move on then. Let us do question number 15. So question number 15 says 1 to 25 plants are to be planted in a garden in a such a way that each row contains as many plants as the number of rows. So suppose in one row we have planted 3 saplings. Therefore, 3. Understood? So the number of rows, how many rows? 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. So there are 3 rows. In each row we have to plant 3 saplings. So that is what it says. It says are planted in such a way that the number of that each row contains as many plants as the number of rows, right? So each row, suppose each row has 3 plants. The number of rows is equal to 3. So total will be what? 3 into 3. That is the number of trees or plants we have planting there. So 3 into 3 actually is a square, right? So it says the total number is 1225. So what do you need to find? Therefore, we need to find the square root, right? We need to find the square root. So let number of rows is equals to x, and number of trees in each row will be what? X. And the question. So total plants will be what? There are 3 rows and 3 plants we are planting. So how many? 3 into 3. Similarly, there are x rows, x plants we are planting. So total plant will be what? X square. It is given that x square is equals to 1225. According to the question, x square is equals to 1225. So what do we need? X, that is the number of plants. So x will be root under 1225. So therefore we need to factorize it. instead of 4 I've written. Okay, so 1225, what can you write? 5 square into 7 square. That means what? 35 whole square. So answer is 35. So question says find the number of rows and the number of plants in each row. So what can you write? Therefore, there are 35 rows and 35 trees. In each row. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Let us do question number 16 then. So it says the student of a class arranged a picnic. Each student contributed as many rupees as the number of students in the class. The total contribution is 1156. Find the strength of the class. Again, same way like previous one. Suppose there are x students, so they given x rupees. The total will be x square rupees. So we need to find actually the square root. So you write therefore required strength of the class. So here I am doing it directly. Will do what? Square root of 1156. Find 1156 square root. So this can be written as 2 square into 17 square. That means this is 34 whole square. The answer is 34. So that is the required number of required strength of the class. Required strength of the class is equals to 34. Clear? Now question number 17. Question number 17 is very important. Okay, it's very important. Question number 17. Here the question: find the smallest least square number which is exactly divisible by each of the numbers 6, 9, 15, and 20. So remember, a number which is divisible by each of the numbers, what we'll do? We'll make LCM. Okay, a number which is divisible by the given numbers. If this language comes, first thing you do is find the LCM of the given numbers. So let us find 6, 9, 15, and 20. Find the LCM. Okay. So LCM will be what? 3 into 5 into 2 into 3 into 2. Now this 180 will be divisible by each of the numbers 6, 9, 15, and 20. Now remember, if I multiply something with 180, this is also exactly divisible by this. Clear? But this may not be a perfect square. So how to make it a perfect square then? Right? There's the question says find the least square number which is exactly divisible by this. So remember, 180 is exactly divisible by 6, 9, 15, and 20. So 180's multiple will also be divisible by 6, 9, 15, and 20. Always remember this. If a number is exactly divisible by the numbers, then its multiple also divisible by the given numbers. So 180 is divisible by 6, 9, 15, 20. Therefore, the multiples of 180 will also be divisible by this. The multiple means what? What we number we can multiply 180 by any number. Now the question says we need to find the least square number. That means we have to what number we should multiply by 180 to get it a perfect square, to make it a perfect square. So now let us factorize 180. So therefore, 180 can be written as what? 2 square into 3 square into 5. Clear or not? Clear? So if I can get another 5, then the required number will be a perfect square, and as well as it will be divisible by each of the numbers 6, 9, 15 and 20. Clear? So therefore, we write like this: to make it a perfect square, we multiply by 5. Therefore, required number is a perfect square will be what? 180 into 5. That means, okay, students. So this is it then. Question number 17 is a whole sum. Question number 17. So in today's lecture, we have completed exercise 3D. In our next class, we will learn how to find the square root using division method. Okay. Until then, goodbye. Have a nice day. See you in the next class.